proximity from Odie. Dive bomb transition blows the bumper off. I don't know that it's that enough to mess up Minowa. He about 2 feet here. Beechum's a little on the inside. Way off outer zone 1. Tuerck. That thing's way too hooked up. He's got the anti-squat looking like it's on the max. What's up, everybody? Today we are going to be dissecting Long Beach, and what that basically means is we're going to dive in and go over every little detail in the top 16 battles from Long Beach 2024. I used to do this a lot. I didn't have time last year, but this year we're going to try to drop them at the next event. But Dissecting Drift is basically going through every single piece of the run, pausing, measuring, going into massive amounts of detail to see who the winner of each run is to me. And obviously, everything's made up and the points don't matter because I'm not a judge and I can be completely wrong about everything. But I'm going to try to relay my take and the facts, at least from what I see, to you guys directly. So this is a little bit different because I get to stop, rewind, measure, move things around, look at different things, play lots of different angles. Even though the judges do have access to most of these angles, they're there to make decisions off of what's actually happening, and I'm not there. So I'm only going off the live stream, which is the thing that you guys can see the most. So hopefully it clarifies some things and excites you guys a little bit more about Formula Drift and drifting in general, because that's why I'm here on Earth, to make you guys love drifting, force you to love drifting. No matter if you don't like drifting, go F yourself. Just kidding. So I'm going to shrink myself down here and jump right in. So this is the FD Long Beach map. We have a decel area on entry. There's 3, 2, 1 cones. They actually might be 1, 2, 3. Tough to see. And you're going to fire it off as fast as you can down the straightaway. Do a maximum of 2 moves. So basically that means you're allowed to come over and back to initiation. You can't do squiggles the whole time because that will mess the chase driver up. The decel area doesn't mean you can stop. It just means you can do a fluid slowdown in that area. Your red lights on your windshield can actually light up, and vice versa, everything. They want you picking up the throttle as soon as possible, getting out to outer zone 1 with high commitment. So what looks like you're set, you're at angle, you're driving through, and this would be your number 1 lead run, right? So full throttle, lots of angle, commitment to outer zone. They want you to just barely touch the wall or get within inches. If you hit the wall really, really hard, it's going to be a deduction. If the whole back half of your car collapses, but you don't mess up, it's still going to be a deduction because you're off track at that point. Obviously not a 0 or anything, but big deduction. They want to see a fluid, quick, snappy rate to angle through the transition. It looks like you're in control, getting out to outer zone 2. I always feel like they want you to get to outer zone 2 at the very, very end of the wall and then leave immediately, and create a nice smooth arc into outer zone 3. Outer zone 3, same thing, locked into angle from 2 to 3, and then going into the touch and go, quick transition, fast rate to angle. You're allowed to slow down again. This doesn't mean stop, it just means slow down, and then pick the throttle up and go to the finish line. Long Beach is definitely a tough track because it's blind, and obviously we'll see in this video that it ends up raining. One of the most difficult things about this track in the rain is, as you can see, it's through a parking lot. So all of these parking spaces have leaky oil from pieces of shit that are driving around the track. So you've got ATF, you've got oil, you've got AC condenser leaking down and catching everything from the subframe and leaking it. You probably parked your piece of shit S13 out there somewhere to change an alternator or a radiator and just dumped it all over the ground. Well, that's what they're driving on. Super inconsistent. So just getting a good lap out there is definitely a key. Some other notes that we have here. The ideal run. The ideal run will initiate by the 1 cone. So like I said, 3, 2, 1. And then, obviously, if you're going faster, you can end earlier, vice versa, in the proper direction with no more than 2 moves. Like we said, the driver should be back on throttle early and after initiation and avoid repeated e-brake pulls. We kind of discussed that. I didn't talk about repeated e-brake pulls. You want to basically set the car, light off, and once you light off, you're committed. You don't need to be pulling the e-brake again in the same turn. The driver should approach outer zones 1 through 3 confidently, as close to walls as possible without major contact. Obviously, that's exactly what we just explained. Transition should be quick, aggressive, and dynamic to aid the showcasing of commitment and confidence That's much better wording than what I put out. I just said snap it, set it, and do what you need to do. And then the approach to the touch and go should be similar to outer zones and thus maintain momentum across inner clip 1 towards the finish line. And that's a really tough thing to do at Long Beach. You really got to sacrifice going in a little bit to get the late apex through inner clip 1 and get across the finish line. So basically, that's the notes from FD pretty much directly. All right, jumping right in, this is going to be Odie and Brandon Sorensen. Odie in the S15 and Brandon Sorensen in the E46 E90 thing.
Brandon Sorensen 19. So, yeah, this is equal ability.
All right, here they go. They're leaving the line. Odie's leading first. Odie with a good flick in, picks up the power. Brandon's about a car and a half back here. Odie out to the wall, perfect wall ride, really good angle there. Brandon's about 6 feet off the wall there. Odie was about, sorry, let's go back and watch again. My space bar is not working. Odie's about 3-4 feet off the wall. Brandon is again a little shallower throughout this line and then fills in right where he should be. This is ideal. It's like not compromising the line. The angle's very similar from Brandon. Everything is good there. In the lead position, Odie's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. Lots of angle. Doesn't quite fill the zone, but if you look, Brandon is now on the outer zone, so I give a big advantage to him because he's got proximity. Gets pulled away a little bit here by Odie. Dives back in. Odie's great on this wall and great on this clip. Picks up the power and finishes somewhat out wide. Not 100% sure on that one. The overhead kind of confirms the wall ride and the shallowness from Brandon until here. He gets a little deep, gets caught in the smoke, but it's not bad positioning. Just could have been a little tighter. And then, yeah, Odie did finish there. And one thing to note here is if you watch Brandon, he kind of cuts in, but that hurts him leaving here. One trick in this area is to basically fill this little area if you can as a chase driver, and then drive in, let them pull away first, and then that kind of helps you get in there a little bit better. All right, so we'll jump in, do the Brandon in the lead, Odie in the chase. Brandon with a big flick, a little less angle, slower rate to angle, but very wide. Odie's way on the inside. So if you notice, Odie's like surpassed front tires almost here, but it's during an initiation and he was a bit wider than normal, so he just got called out on that. Odie's proximity is much closer, but again, chopping the line a little bit. He's about a foot off the wall. Odie's about 6 feet, 7 feet, so similar between the two runs, but much better proximity from Odie. Dive bomb transition blows the bumper off. Similar outer zone 2 section there. Odie's got way less angle and way on the inside. Odie then starts trying to match the angle and the line. This is full lock on the wall tap, staying a little wider. Odie is timing's better in the transition and really good positioning going through the last turn there if you look. That's kind of what I was saying. If you watch, Odie will kind of let him pull away first and then tuck in. That was actually aggressive, if anything. So my idea for this run is Odie has much better proximity throughout the entire run. They both made some sacrifices in the chase. Lead for lead is similar. Brandon had a better wall ride near the judges' tower. But you can see this bothers me from the chase. Odie just like way, way inside. The transition was money in the bank though. And then transition, if you notice positioning of the car is similar here. Odie was closer, more on the inside than Brandon was. Similar positioning there, and then Brandon touches the wall there where Odie was a little bit off. So lead to lead, pretty close. I'd say they're about the same. Tight on the inside clip, but chase for chase. Odie sacrificed angle and line a little bit for the proximity. This is the part that bothered me from Odie. But overall, the proximity and the risk is higher. So this one, to me, goes to Odie. But not by much because of the sacrifices he had to make. And it goes to Odie unanimously. Next battle is going to be Kazuya and Hiroya. Sorry, my spacebar keeps dying here. There we go. So 2J drivers, both in FRS, BRZ, Forsbergs. All right, we got some nitrous purge. Kazuya's going to lead first.
Here we go. Taguchi slowly crawling through that start chicane.
All right, so Taguchi enters. Minowa in the chase.
Pretty aggressive battle here, Jacob. Here we go. Kazuya, Taguchi, Minowa drops.
So real aggressive chase from Minowa. Good lead going on from Kazuya or Taguchi. Not quite fully out to the wall, and again we're seeing some sacrificing here on the inside. Good transition timing. Look at this positioning of the cars. They're basically driving the same line. He is coming up short a little bit there, so doesn't quite fill the zone. Minowa is on him. Hard wall tap there. Minowa's not really phased. But big dive on the inside there. And a straighten from Minowa. So we're going to have to review that again here in a second with the overhead. So you can see Taguchi, good entry. Minowa right where he should be. A little bit shallow, not quite filling the zones, less angle. Outer zone 2, phenomenal. Great chase. You can see about 70% of the lead car's angle. Wall tap there that actually messes up Minowa a little bit. Looks like there might even have been contact there. Transition. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing as a lead. A little bit of a straighten there. They're going to have to watch this again. That wall tap was significant. I don't know that it's that enough to mess up Minowa. He just got caught in the smoke. You can clearly see, watch, fully engulfed in the smoke here. Yeah, fully lost in the smoke. All right, so we're switching it up here. Minowa's going to lead. Ooh, big flick from Minowa. Taguchi not phased, right where he needs to be. Great positioning. A little bit shallow again, but no, backs it up a little bit. Good lead run from Minowa. Right out to the wall. Taguchi makes some big mistakes, gets stuck on the inside there, not filling the zone all the way. Ooh, Minowa dives in. Oh, wait, contact. So Taguchi dives in, pushes really hard there for no reason. He had it in the bag, was going to win it, overdrove it. Minowa on throttle doing what he can to try to save it, but overrose, so this one is going to go to Minowa, in my opinion. We'll see what they do here. They're probably reviewing 100 videos. We can do that too if you'd like. So you can see proximity is much better, but at sacrifice to line. So like I bid these equal because he's chopping the line a ton and getting stuck on the inside, making a lot of corrections. Well, Taguchi is a half a car back on the same line and much smoother. But times the transition wrong. Minowa dives in and does what he needs to do. Taguchi is stuck on the inside here, can't get out wide, and just rocket ships into the inside of the turn, hitting Minowa and causing the spin. So I'm going Minowa on this for sure. All right, there we go. Minowa gets the win. Shout out to Njuku. All right, so now we have James Deane and Jonathan Hurst. James Deane's going to lead first. This is the first battle since his car had a fiery weekend start for sure. Nasty flick from James. We're going to play that back. Look at this snap. Boom. I don't even know what's happening with the front end of the car. It's getting like pushed by the front tire maybe. But Hurst is right there where he needs to be in the chase and overrose. James is a pretty good lead run, right out on the wall, a bit deep there if we had to be exact. Right on the, oh, and then what happens? Independently has an issue. Looks like the missed a shift or something. Oh, looks like possible missed shift. So he's going to have a 0 as well. Both drivers going to end up with a 0 here, making the judges sweat it out. Look at that flick here. That might be the winner so far. Snap. Right to angle, on throttle, pick it up all the way out to the wall. That's a really good lead run until what I would imagine he misses a shift here. Sorry, I had to fast forward through. Now we have Hurst leading and James in the chase. They are technically both sitting on 0s, I believe, at this point. I'm not listening in on the judges, and I haven't watched this at all, so Hurst, a little bit slow rotation in, but good angle. James is right there on him, pushing it. James is equal line here. Sorry, I was pointing instead of using my cursor. So James is a little bit shallow, but pretty equal. His bumper is going to be right there. Jonathan's on the wall where he's supposed to be. Good flick through there. Right on the wall. That was a perfect wall ride at the outer zone here. James is about 6 feet off, a little bit shallow. A back out to the outer zone 3, really wide. James a little bit shallow. Again, a little bit shallow from James. Hurst is firing it in. Big angle, on throttle, through the zone. Well, if we're going lead to lead, chase to chase, we can't. So if everything's based off of this run right here, I think Hurst got this win. Really good lead run. James's chase was good. He had matched angle, but had sacrificed line pretty much everywhere. This overhead will tell. So let's watch here. So right here is good. James is right where he's supposed to be. So is Hurst. It's great. Everything's good. Good timing on the transition, but a little too early on adding angle from James. So he's not on the wall with Hurst. Hurst is having a heat of a lead run. Right here looks good. James has a good chase. The line is slightly sacrificed, not a ton. And then look at him fire this in across this touch and go. But James is not feeling the touch and go. Huge angle, lights off early, gets out to the outer zone. A little bit off the finish line outer zone. This is a tough call. I think Hurst had a 98-point lead run, and I don't think James had a 98-point chase, if we're going to be honest here. So I would like to see this go one more time, if it was up to me. Oh, and we're going one more time. Perfect. I know that we're supposed to make the call and just live with it, but I would like to see this go one more time. I think Hurst slightly edged out James on this, but it's a silly, stupid thing. Like in the type of rule that it is and how they're supposed to judge it, it should have went one more time. If we had to make a decision, it would have. To me, it would have went to Hurst. But in the sport of the rule, like you run this again. Both drivers did a really good job. You know. Okay, so we are jumping around a little bit here. We have Beechum and Aasbo. Aasbo in the lead. Here we go. Aasbo with a big flick in wide. Beechum doing a really good job in the chase. His positioning is perfect. Comes in a little bit. I think Aasbo is a little later to fire off than Beechum thought. Aasbo gets out to the wall, leaves about a foot. About 2 feet here. Beecham's a little on the inside, playing a game of catch-up. He's got matching angle, but way shallow. Aasbo gets right out to the wall. Oh, sorry, my stream froze there. Oh, just kidding. It's Formula D stream. Aasbo getting out to the touch and go. Light angle going into the last turn. Beechum jumps right in and dives and gets the rear quarter panel of the car there. So, pretty textbook lead, leaving a little bit on the table from Aasbo here. Way out wide on the zone, or on the entry. On power. As you can see, he gets out to the zone really well, and then Beechum ends up way on the inside here. If I had to guess, his car just doesn't have enough side bite and has good amount of forward because it lunges but then doesn't have much to catch. But pretty textbook lead run from Aasbo. A little wobble there at the very end if I'm being picky. Looks smooth, looks collected. Oh, looks like Aasbo's maybe calling 5. All right, we're back. Beecham's going to lead. Here we go. flick from Beechum, gangster. Aasbo in the good position there, about a car and a half back. Beechum about similar to Aasbo, a little bit farther off. Aasbo's in a good position in the chase. Matches the angle, has a little bit of a waver there, but Beechum didn't quite finish that zone. Ooh, Aasbo diving to the inside there a little bit with a wobble as well. Beechum all the way out to the outer zone. Really good last turn from Beechum. Want to see this overhead if they'll play it here. Yep. Okay, so good snap from Beechum. A little wavery, and you'll watch Aasbo right here too. He gets a little wobbly here. Dives to the inside, just kind of waiting on Beechum. This is a good lead run from Beechum. Lots of angle on the zones. Similar, I would say, lead to lead. The Aasbo and Beechum, very similar. Although Beechum should have been about 2 feet wider there. I'll take that back. Ooh, Beechum also had a handbrake there. We'll go back and play that because that could... See, I paused it perfectly. There you go. So handbrake there, which is ultimately going to affect Aasbo's drive out of that turn. So I would blame that. For that, Aasbo's doing a good job. This one's definitely going to Aasbo. Should be unanimously. Sweet. There you go. Okay, next battle is going to be Chris Forsberg versus Rome. And Forsberg's in the lead. Big flick in. Rome is in good position. This is like what I feel is ideal. Like you're just a little bit deeper, if not the same, as the lead car, because it gives you a good drive out to the wall here. Let's see what happens. So Chris is out, not on the wall, about 5 feet off the wall. Rome is in the chase, also shallow. Really poor timing. What is going on here? Let's go back. So Chris really is blowing it in this run. So has a second handbrake on entry if you watch the rear wheels. Another one there. Lights off. Doesn't have the momentum. Does a big burnout. Kind of closes Rome off, but then ends up way on the inside. Not at outer zone 2. Not at outer zone 3. Rome's actually doing a good job chasing because he really is chasing a car that's not going where it's supposed to be going at this point. So we can watch the overhead again. You watch Rome positioning of the car is great. But then Chris just kind of sits there and does a burnout, doesn't really move anywhere, loses all of his momentum and drives to the inside. Rome's just doing what he's supposed to be doing here. It's a bit sloppy, but it's because of the lead cars. So not ideal lead run. It's almost unchaseable, but he's kind of where he needs to be in order to at least get something scoreable. All right, so Rome's going to lead now. Rome flicks it in. Chris is right there on him. Rome out to the wall. Chris doing a good job of chase. Rome out to the wall again. Chris right there, glued to him, doing what he's supposed to be doing. Rome into outer zone, the last touch and go. This is a great lead and a great chase. Unfortunately, this goes to Rome to me just because of the massive mistakes as a lead run from Chris. So, yep, sweet. So Rome gets the win. Makes sense to me, and we're moving on. Matt looks like bummed about something. Called a timeout beforehand. I didn't watch any of this, so I'm going to listen.
Broken axle in the burnout box.
So he's saying he broke an axle in the burnout box.
Corvette suspension is pretty brutal, no matter what. I think we were super, super close to actually getting it done.
So I think he's out because of that.
And,
Okay, so here we go. We got one more time between James Deane and Hurst.
that's racing, I guess. We'll try our best to come back.
James is going to lead first.
Thank you very much. Always putting his best foot.
Another really good flick from James. Oh, that's bad timing on the camera operator. So James is a little deep in the wall, wing in the air. Hurst is not quite as deep, but there. Good transition timing from Hurst. Great lead run from James. Hurst a little wobbly there, trying to get the forward to light off. James is at full lock on the outer zone. This is a great lead and a great chase. James really good going into the last turn. Little off inner clip 1, I would say about 3 feet. Hurst right there with him. So this is a great lead and a great chase. The overhead of this will really show. So you can see where we couldn't see in the first time, but James is 90 degrees. Hurst in the chase drives right up on him. And then from here on out, they're both doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. About a half car gap, all the zones being filled, similar angle lead to chase, just a tick less in the chase. James is off the last inner clip, but really, really good run overall. I would say arguably a little deep in outer zone 1 from James, but I'm not hating it. All right, switching positions here. Here we go. Hurst, a little slower initiation, but James still backs it in the chase. Super close proximity. Hurst not quite as far on the wall. James matching the angle and the line. Slower transition from James in the chase. Hurst out on the wall. Similar positioning of the cars between there. James not quite getting out to the zone. Getting pulled a little bit going into the last turn. This is a close one again. So we'll watch the replay here. I would say James's initiation, huge points of bonus there. It was perfect. More angled in the lead run. He's matching the line and the angle of Hurst really well. Does a similar thing through here. The proximity here is about the same. James dives in a little bit in the last turn, and Hurst was not quite on this touch and go, but does go a little bit better on the inner clip, so I'm going to wash those two together, so I would call this equal. James a little later to light off, doesn't have the proximity going across the finish line. This is a close one. That initiation is all of it, though. Yeah, this is close. Unfortunately, I know who wins the event. I haven't watched any of this yet. This is a one more time for me. Yeah, this is a one more time for me. I think James had some bonus points for the initiation. Yeah, James's lead was a little bit better. Yeah, James's lead was a tick better. Kind of just going over this. Oh, we can watch it together. Cool. So we'll stop at some key points here. This is why I have a massive advantage to James on entry. Unfortunately, Hurst had a soft entry on this run compared to his other runs. I mean, this is like textbook. In terms of lead run to lead run, James has a little bit more angle here. Chase to chase, obviously James has an advantage here. We get out to the outer zone. James is a little bit deeper in both the lead and the chase, so that's good. Yeah, so this was one thing that I wanted to see, this transition. So if we watch how Hurst transitions through here, it's better than James. But James, I think, is a little bit better on the angle and the line. James is not wavering, while Hurst is having a little waver there. But I would say through the chase, Hurst has a better last turn. But James had a better run throughout it and a better lead. So now that I've seen the overhead, I'm going James on this one. And they're going one more time. Interesting. So that's funny. I originally... Oh. So I originally had it as a one more time, and then watching it over again, which I get to do, and the judges don't really get to do, because I'm stopping and pausing and going over this in detail with you guys. But I think that James had that battle now that I watched it back. But my first impression was one more time, so the judges are not wrong with that call, I believe. So Ken Gushi's getting a bye run. I'm going to squeeze through this real quick. All right, so now we have Simon Olsen and Robert Thorne. Okay, here we go. We got Simon Olsen and Robert Thorne. I'll just start it over.
All right, I'm trying to be.
See ya.
Bye, we'll be back.
Okay.
Come on, let Olsen go.
Okay, so we have Simon Olsen, Robert Thorne. Simon's going to lead first. Simon has a big flick into the first turn. Olsen is right there, but at massive deficit of angle. Chelsea's literally staring at me through the window right now, going like this. So Simon off outer zone 1, and Robert Thorne way off where he's supposed to be in the chase. That's going to ruin his transition. Odie, sorry. It's a similar car. Simon is out perfect on outer zone 2. Thorne has got bad timing and jammed himself on the inside. Being aggressive, Simon has a good rest of the lead run. I think just big notes on the lead is didn't get outer zone 1. The chase was sloppy and aggressive where it needed to not be. It was just kind of off a little bit there. He just positions himself poorly in the chase, which makes him have to transition and have to hold the car back, which then pushes him to the inside because we don't have any momentum, which then pushes him wide here because he chopped the first half of the turn. And it's just bad positioning from Thorne. Again, with the same thing as Beechum, his car just looks like it's lacking side bite. So every time he rotates, it gets too much angle, and then the forward bite drives him in. All right, they're going to switch positions now. And now the rain comes. Okay, so this is the flip side of this battle. For some reason, they called 5 or did something. So here we've got Robert Thorne, Simon Olsen. Robert Thorne is in the lead with a big flick. Olsen in the chase, looking very collected here. About a car and a half gap. Olsen out to the outer zone. It's going to be much easier to judge in the rain because it's so slow. Misses outer zone 2. Look at the snail's pace. This is embarrassing. Thorne just trying to keep it together. Olsen staying at the same angle in the chase. I gotta laugh. This. Oh, little straight in there from the side bite on Olsen's car. Lots of mistakes from Thorne though. So that's definitely a straighten. I will call that a straighten. But it was very minute, and the car didn't like unsettle itself. You could see that it just hooked up, and he was adjusting to the rain. So I'm obviously going with Olsen on this based on the first run and the second run, which you guys will have back to back. Olsen did a really good job in the chase in the rain following that as well. There we go. Simon Olsen gets the win. All right, let me skip. Okay, now we have Ryan Tuerck and Nick Noback. Tuerck's going to lead. Tuerck with a good flick in. That's kind of the standard FD flick in. Look at this thing light off. Watch this rear tire and the front left. Just bang! Takes off and goes. Noback is in the chase. We're going to go back and check this. About 2 feet here. Beechum's a little on the inside. Way off outer zone 1, Tuerck. That thing's way too hooked up. He's got the anti-squat looking like it's on the max. About 2 feet, 3 feet off outer zone 2. Noback is in the chase. Less angle. Chopping the line a little bit. Again with the off the outer zone. Too hooked up, Ryan. Slow your shit down. Good transition in the last turn. Noback kind of getting where he needs to get. He's just chopping the track at random times. So the overhead will show that a bit. So, oh yeah, that the other angle barely even showed this, or I was too focused on Tuerck's car being so hooked up. So you'll see Noback over row, light off. Again with the E46 and no side bite. You guys might need some help with that. Tuerck's off outer zone 1, off outer zone 2. Noback is doing kind of what he needs to be doing given the lead run is not that great. About a car length back, dives in, finishes the run, does the opposite of what I've been telling everybody to do. He kind of gets in here instead of staying out here, which then, if you look, you have to go somewhere, so it pushes him wide over here after the turn, allows Tuerck to pull away. It's just positioning of the car through there. So not a good lead run from Tuerck. Acceptable chase from Nick, given that the lead run wasn't that great. So we're going to see what happens here with Nick in the lead and Tuerck in the chase. Noback with a huge flick, huge amount of angle. Tuerck right there in the chase. Noback out to the wall perfectly. Tuerck with a great transition timing. Doesn't quite fill outer zone 2, but Noback does. Noback deep in the wall and puts Tuerck right into the wall as well. So I'm going to put that on Noback. Noback's car could just take the hit. We're going to watch this here in a second. So great timing. The most important thing is that we see that Tuerck's not going wider than Noback. So this is literally perfect. A little less angle than Noback. You see Noback starts at an angle because he knows he's going in deep. See, I put Noback at fault for that. Noback just drove him deep into the wall. Not on purpose, but it's just how it happened. Tuerck's got good positioning. He's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. Yeah, so you can basically see in my description, like in my thought process, he hits the wall, which slows him down, makes the correction happen. And then Tuerck hits him because of that and the wall at the same time. So to me, damn, look how much steering angle that thing has. To me, this is a Noback thing. I'm tricky about these things because I put myself in Tuerck's position, right? And Tuerck was doing everything he was supposed to be doing in a really good chase scenario. And to me, it was, if I were Tuerck, I would be like, Noback put me in the wall because of that. Not on purpose, but that's just how it happened. You see, Noback knows he's going deep right here. He starts adding angle into the car, and he just gets it. And Tuerck's got nowhere to go. If you look at it like... that's them backing that up, not me. If you look at it from... Oh, he tries. Yeah. I think if Noback didn't hit the wall, Tuerck would have been fine. So, just my thought. And they give it to Noback. Wow. Wow. This is a tough one, like I said. That one is definitely a win some, lose some scenario, you know? You got to look at it like exactly how it is. I see Tuerck making adjustments because he's in the wall, and because of that, caused that. So I believe that Noback's at fault for that. James is going to lead. Hurst is going to chase. It's wet. It's raining. Let's see how it goes down here. James with a flick in, and Hurst is in a big spot. Big challenge here. He's stuck on the inside while James is pulling out wide here on the throttle. He fixes the run pretty good. I don't even need to pause it. We'll just go slow. But James has that momentum from turn 1 that he can keep going. Lots of corrections from James in the wheel speed department, but the angle is exactly the same, and that's what you want to see in the rain. If you see the rear wheels doing a bunch of different things, it's totally okay, as long as the front is making, keeping the angle about the same. So Hurst, sloppy lead. James has a damn near perfect lead run in the rain. It's just the momentum from turn 1 allowed James to stay ahead basically the whole time. All right, here we go. We're switching positions. Hurst in the lead. A little wobble there on entry from Hurst. James is super smooth going through there. Feeling the grip. So we're going to go Hurst on the wall. James about 5 feet off the wall, but proximity is much better. Misses outer zone 2 a little bit from there. Oh, big correction from... Oh, big correction from Hurst. And James is just sitting there kind of watching it with a similar proximity as Hurst has through there, but overall this run definitely is going to go to James. It's slow enough that we can judge it pretty much all the way through. Everything looks really, really good, except this spot right here. Just misses. Oh, he's going to over-rotate, so he uses the handbrake on it to not over-rotate. James has a better chase all the way through. So I'm going James Deane. It's close. This is finally someone gets a win out of this battle. Okay, so now we've got Odie and Minowa in the rain. Long Beach in the rain is the worst. I'm going to explain in 1 second here too. Okay, so Odie, slow initiation, which actually throws Minowa off there. Odie with low angle, pushing out wide here. Out to the wall. Minowa getting in formation. A little bit late to that. Maybe that's because of Odie's slow initiation. He was not expecting it. Odie missing outer zone 2. This is one thing that I wanted to point out right here. So these are all parking spots because this part of the track is in a parking lot. Here, so all of this is going to have oil. It's going to have AC condenser sweat and transmission fluid. Everything that your car leaks is going to be in this outer zone. So something to think about while you're going on this track, especially over here. Again, these are parking spots. So all these spots all over the track have oil everywhere. But let's go back. Sorry. So Minowa is a little bit shallow, gets some speed gained up, and then backs up on it. So now he's in the perfect position. This is the best tandem position you can be in. Odie's right out on the wall. Minowa's crawling, being in the chase. Odie's got a little bit more momentum, so he's able to pull it out there. Odie mows inner clip. So here's my take on this run from Odie. They're going to probably play a replay. I feel like Odie had pretty low angle the entire time. Didn't quite open up the pocket for Minowa to be able to see in the background or in the chase. His momentum is really good. That hit right there was hard enough to make some corrections. Minowa is doing a good job in the chase, but Odie finally throws some angle in the car here. It's just kind of choppy lead from Odie for the rain. And I think it just didn't give a very good opening for the chase from Minowa. Definitely Odie's car has more speed and bite in the rain too. So something to see there. Now we're going to switch positions. Minowa's going to lead. Odie's going to chase. Minowa the big flick. Rotating in. Odie in decent position. Minowa a little late to fire off. Odie making good chase there. Minowa out to the wall. Very similar scenario to Odie, but Odie is way on the inside, about to get jammed out. Oh, man, made it happen there. Minowa's got more angle throughout the run than Odie, it looks like. Better outer zone 2 than Odie. Again, with similar proximity through here. They both mow the inside clip. This is like identical runs. I feel like they're pretty identical. They both had wobbly entries. They both hit the wall. I'm going one more time. One more time on this. Oh, let's watch the side-by-side. Cool. This actually solves a lot. So Odie does have better proximity, but he's way on the inside to make it happen. So I'm going to rate those about the same. Odie has the wall tap. Minowa has the wall tap. Odie's bad positioning. This is worse than Minowa actually through there. Odie better transition in the chase. Minowa getting a little better lead run there too. I was one more time, but
realistically, I do think this is going to come down to who put down the better lead run because both chases did have some issues.
Man, if I was a judge, I'm going Minowa now. I was one more time off my first thought, but now watching it back, I'm Minowa on this one.
Fairly parallel. So who filled?
Let's see what happens.
Minowa got it one more time. We got Odie Bakchis.
Going to Odie. I just felt like Odie's positioning was worse, and it put him in a bad spot. All right, running in next with Rome and Ken Gushi. Rome's going to lead. Oh, a snail's pace leaving the line from Rome. It must be really raining, standing water. Here comes Rome with the flick. Gushi in the chase. Rome with a wobbly entry. Gushi stuck there, dealing with whatever Rome's got going on. Rome, big hit into the wall. Gushi in formation, I gotta be honest. Outer zone 1, 2, way off from Rome. Another hit. He would have spun if he didn't get the hit there on Rome. Yeah, Gushi's just doing everything he can following this run. Now Rome has a E90 1 Series TI. Yeah, this is ugly from Rome. These conditions are impossible, dude. I'm telling you, like... Again, look, all of these are parking spaces. They're all parking spaces. This track is so inconsistent in the rain. This is the hardest shit to drive in the rain. Yeah. Not ideal. Let's see how it switches up. Alright. So Gushi's going to cross over and give a flick. This is a good thing to do in the rain. People might hate on it, but this is how you feel out what's happening to get yourself going. But that's not how you do it. You have you had to straighten there on the initiation, but looking pretty good. Lots of speed from Gushi in the rain. Way off outer zone 1. Smooth transition into outer zone 2. Rome is right there, but Gushi's giving a really good lead to Chase.
If you can recall, Gushi didn't sound 100% on that buy run, remember? Because he got that.
Yeah, this is going to Gushi to me 100%. Gushi had a really good lead run that was smooth, that was very chaseable. Rome had an awful lead run.
RCP, Kenshiro, Gushi slide him left for RCP or right for Kenshiro.
Sweet. All right, here we go. Some champs here. A champ judging 2 other champs. They have way more championships than I have, though. All right, so James is leading. Aasbo's in the chase. Here we go with the flick. Good rotation in. Aasbo's in a great position. Less angle, but right where he needs to be. A little bit falling back there. James perfect out to the wall. Also, Aasbo right out to the wall. Perfect. Out to this wall, about 2 feet off. Aasbo, trademark move. He always does this way off outer zone 2 to keep the proximity. Obviously, rain is helping that a little bit. He's got less angle, but they're both on the same line. James with a big wall tap there. Affects the line. Aasbo with some low angle, trying to keep the grip in the car. James pulls away a little bit going into the last turn. I'm going to watch this again real quick through here. So watch James hit. That's a hard wall hit. Kind of messes Aasbo up in the chase, but he reduces angle immediately to drop right in there and do what he needs to. We're going to switch it up now. Can't win off one run. Here we go. Aasbo in the lead, James in the chase. Aasbo at the flick. James way on the inside here. But, whoa, I got to watch this again. So, Aasbo lights off, and then handbrakes again. James stays steady, believing in the lead car. James out to the wall, Aasbo not. Aasbo missing outer zone 2 completely, trying to get that speed. This gap right here is from that low angle transition and speed. Misses outer zone 3 completely as well. James falls back into formation here, gets on the power, dives in, finishes the run pretty close on his door. I gotta go. I want to watch this again. So here's my first thoughts. My first thought says Aasbo has no angle the whole time. James had shitloads of angle the whole time. James had a wall hit that had a correction, but also Aasbo had tons of corrections. Especially on this initiation that totally bones James, but he stays in it. But just look, no angle from Aasbo. None. None. Big handbrake pull. So this whole gap was pulled because of what happened back there. Just driving with no angle. James, great transition timing going to the last turn. Picks up the throttle. Maybe even a little tap there. This is a tough one to judge. I'm going with James because Aasbo is not doing a chaseable lead. It's a sloppy lead. Actually, it wasn't that sloppy. Just low angle trying to pull away. I don't like that shit. Damn, it's unanimously different. All right, here we go. Back to the one more time battle. Judges were completely indecisive. I went with James on that. I could have maybe seen it one more time. Here we go. James with a big flick. Rotation. Aasbo in formation. Look at this. Aasbo is right there. James is getting out there. This is a great lead and chase run. Holy shit. Look at the transition timing. James is getting out on the wall perfectly. Aasbo reducing the angle, staying safe with low angle, but the proximity and the line is almost perfect. This is so good. Look at Aasbo holding the car back to keep it in the transition for the last turn. This is really, really good. I would say that outside of the last turn, that was a textbook lead chase. The run was absolutely perfect from both drivers. It's really, really good rain driving. All right, they're going to switch positions. Aasbo's going to lead. James is going to chase. James is going to have to put the heat on him. So, again with the double handbrake, slow initiation. But James is in his door, pushing him around into the wall. Low angle again from Aasbo through there. James is up in him again. The proximity is there. The aggression is there. Aasbo with a good lead everywhere he needs to be. James much better last turn than Aasbo. I want the split screen on this, but I also want to see what happens here. So I'm going to go back, watch the whole thing. So this is killing Aasbo as a lead driver. It's wrecking the chase driver the way he's entering in the rain. I would almost blame Aasbo on why he got hit there, and then I would blame James hitting him, putting Aasbo into the wall. So I'm going to do shared fault for all of that. Yeah, the no angle here thing, it's just a game to try to pull away from the guy behind you. Drifting's supposed to be at lots of angle. James does a great job with the transition timing here. Stays on his door. Hits him again. Hell yeah. I mean, I'm going James on this one for sure. Reason being is James' lead run was better than Aasbo's, and his chase was similar. A little bit better in the last turn, a little too aggressive in the first turn. I was hoping they do an overhead. Oh, they're playing this back from a different angle. Let's see. So just rear wheels hit, but also I'm blaming that on Aasbo for his entry. There we go. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, obviously. Oh, we got to go back. Got Nick Noback and Simon Olsen for the second run here. Nick Noback with a big flick, big handbrake. Olsen right there in the chase where he's supposed to be. Whoa, too deep. Big mistake from Noback. Off outer zone 2, not phased from... Oh, and he's going in. Good save, bonk. Got wise fabbed, dude. Bent a toe arm in the back. So obviously, Noback is to blame for all of that. Now we've got Olsen and Gushi. All right, Olsen with the flick. Gushi a little late on the flick, but positioning's not bad. A little inside. Olsen getting out to the wall. A little bit of a hit there. Obviously, Gushi not quite on there. A little bobble from Gushi. Olsen holding the line. Good angle. Out to the zone, but late. Puts a tire on the line. Gushi shallow through that section. This is tough to judge from the drone stuff. They need to stick to the same camera angles. So, Olsen, pretty good textbook lead. 2 wall hits that were a little harder than I would like to see. This overhead will help us a ton. Gushi positions himself a little on the inside through here. Not a ton, but he's too far on the inside. Olsen comes out, gets a wall hit. You can see it disrupts his car. Gushi does not get out to the wall. Has a bobble right there. Way off outer zone 2 in the chase. Again, way off outer zone 3 in the chase. Low angle. Kind of just not getting himself into position. Olsen kind of putting the line where it needs to be. Just a little grippy spot here. So, just so-so chase from Gushi. Pretty banger lead from Olsen. So, we're going to need a really good lead from Gushi here. Gushi, a little wobble on the entry. Olsen right there where he needs to be in the chase. Oh, Gushi with a similar wall hit to Olsen. Can he get out to outer zone 2? About similar to Olsen, but Olsen's right there. Chopping the track quite a bit on the inside, though. This is good. A little bit deeper. Oop, gets the clip in the chase. So, I'm going with the leads are similar, but the chase from Olsen was much better than Gushi's. Initiation from Olsen was better than Gushi's. Overall, there's a lot of little things that I like that Olsen did more than Gushi, especially positioning in the chase. You know, they're just better positioning for the chase driver. So I'm going Simon Olsen. Yep, sweet. Simon Olsen gets the win. We're getting down to the end here. Doing a sight lap, it looks like. All right, it's going to be James, Deane, and Odie for first battle. Odie's going to lead first. Odie's going to flick it in. Again, with a little bit lower angle. James is right there. Great position. They're both way on the inside. But if you can see, Odie's on the line here. James is just past the line in the chase. So, pretty good line through there. Similar. I can't judge with this camera angle. So, it looks like Odie has a really good run. James misses outer zone 2 completely. Odie's wider everywhere. James is getting the proximity, pushing his door in a little bit there. These camera angles, I'm so lost at what's actually happening on track. It's hard to judge. Okay, so super hard hit from Odie on the wall. That disrupts James in the chase, kills his momentum. Outer zone 2. Looks like going to outer zone 3, Odie does get the wall again all the way out there. James in chase where he needs to be a little shallower everywhere than Odie. Last turn, similar thing. James gets the wall at the end. The whole crew. They're all watching. All right, so switch positions. Here we go. Weather looks great, guys. Look at this. James is literally hitting the front wheel. Odie's in attack mode. So James out to the wall. Odie get in the wall. Over rotate. It's over. He makes it. He saves it. He saves it. Big blow in it though. Let's go back and watch this again. Odie hits the front wheel of James. And then James is doing what he's supposed to be doing. Odie overrows. Okay. Out to the zone. Odie way on the inside. Gonna get choked up here. Can he get back out wide? James perfect on the inner clip. So is Odie. It doesn't matter though. James is definitely getting the win on that one. Alright, now we got, dude, look at the conditions. We got James and Simon Olsen. Okay, so Olsen flicking it in. Out wide, tons of standing water there. James a little too far on the inside, but he will back himself up, it looks like, to get in line. Misses outer zone 2 from the chase, or outer zone 1 from the chase. Lead car is on the wall. About 3 feet off from Olsen. Look at the standing water firing off of this. James is in his door, pushing him. Olsen does not get outer zone 2 or 3 at all. So much standing water. I can't judge by this view. It looks like James is on him now that we have a normal shot. James is a little bit inside of Olsen. Haha. Olsen's about 2 feet off the wall. Transition timing's good. Olsen again about 2-3 feet off the wall. James holding his ground. He's a little bit shallower, but now he's in the pocket where he needs to be. Oh, then drives in again, a little bit shallow. Good transition. Little tap of the inner clip because the speed is so slow. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is the worst conditions of Long Beach in history. All right, so this is going to make it right here. So James is going to get a big flick. Olsen in the chase. Oh, my God. James full lock. Little bobble there. Olsen in the chase. James does get out to the wall, but it looks like late, maybe? Olsen in the chase. James out the wall. I can't tell with this angle. It looks like Olsen's way stuck on the inside. So here's my thought. James overrode on entry big time and did not give Olsen a chance in the chase. James gets out to the wall. Olsen is less angle and not on the wall, similar to how James was. James a little less angle and not as wide as Olsen, but Olsen gets stuck on the inside right here. Ooh, that's bad positioning. I can't relate that to the first turn either. Yeah, just he's so far on the inside. Like, look, there's the outer zone. This is where you're at. You needed to fix this back here. Damn it. Yeah, the last turn too coming through. A little later apex than normal from James. So yeah, I was going to give Simon the benefit of the doubt there in turn one because James, I felt like, over-rotated, obviously on accident, didn't do it on purpose, and it screwed him for all of Outer Zone 1. And then going into Outer Zone 2, Olsen just needed to grab the handbrake and hold the car back for a split second. Like, right here, like if Olsen just would have handbraked to get the car to come over, but he kept firing off and kept firing off, trying to get the car to go, and it wouldn't go. I was just looking at it like James did make a pretty big mistake in turn one, but by turn two, where Olsen had made a bunch of mistakes, he's put himself in a bad position and screwed himself. So unfortunately, that's how it went for him, but James definitely gets the win here. And again, like, the thing about this event is it doesn't... It's kind of a shitty scenario because the rain, the track, the driving, it's so hard to drive that a lot of the driving wasn't very good, you know? There was a lot of good, really close tandem, and there was a lot of good, really good moments while they were out there. But the whole runs all together, they all had some sort of mistake going on, basically. James got the win. What a weekend for him, too. Let's talk about that, dude. I'm so excited for him. Yeah, so media day, catches on fire, car burns down to the ground, crew gets everything back together, gets it running, makes it through the whole weekend, banging the walls, crashing, doing everything, and he ends up getting the win at the end of the weekend. So that's a really good story for sure. And the RTR crew definitely gets a round of applause for how much effort they put into this entire week. Man, I would not have wanted to be on that team that weekend, man. But at the end, I would have loved to be because they accomplished a lot and got through it all. It's crazy. So, yeah, a lot of you guys had judging issues and whatnot, so I love to go through and explain these. As you can see, for the most part, we're on the same page, especially for this top 16 on. I didn't have time to do much more than that. This video is going to be over an hour long. But really, like, the thing is when I'm watching this back, I get a lot more control over what's happening. I'm the DJ for my own thing. I can be like, ooh, what happened there? And go back and watch it. And the ability to do that, I think, sometimes can skew the actual result, right? So because of that, I wish that FD had a little bit more control over that. I know they get to watch the replays and get to do things, but they also get to see and feel and be there and actually absorb it. for what it is. So for me, when I judge, I always make my decisions based off of the first run and when I watch it with my eyes. And if there was something I wanted to see farther to make a decision that would affect my decision and who I thought should win, then I always go back and watch that to make sure what I saw really happened. And then sometimes that can change my decision based upon that. And you guys can see that going through here. So either way, I hope that Atlanta is dry. It's Atlanta's happening tomorrow, which I think will be today when this gets posted. Yeah, I hope it's dry. I hope it's good. I hope we get some really good battles. Atlanta's always a fun track. I have never podiumed at Atlanta. I don't think I've ever made it past grade 8 there. I've always had some sort of aggressive scenario that's caused me to lose, whether it's going through interclip 1, or hitting a car that's off throttle, or overdriving the car myself. It's always just never really aligned well, but the cars do well there, and I've had some pretty good opportunities to do well there. So good luck to everybody in FD for Atlanta, and I hope it's dry. Formula Drift is not... The people watching, the drivers, the teams, the effort, no one deserves to drive in the rain. It just takes all of everything out of the equation, and it turns into a massive amount of leaning on the judges for everything. So I'll see you guys.